What's up, Victoria? It's Victoria. Today we're gonna play with some new makeup. I have a metric 10 of this RITUEL Thorn by Oil in the shade Black Thorn on. I'm gonna zoom you in. Let's start applying things. I have a couple of goals in this video. I'm gonna update you on thoughts on some stuff that I have featured in playing with new makeup in the past. I'm gonna feature products in this video that were requested of me to review in that video where I was like anti-hauling all of my subscriber suggestions for products for review. There were two products that were requested for review that I actually had and I just hadn't featured yet. So we're gonna play with those in today's video. There's also some brand new makeup as well. I prepped my eyes off camera. The first product we're gonna be using today is from Victoria Beckham. This is their eye wardrobe in the colorway Nightflash. I will put some swatches up on the screen for you just so you can get a better idea. I've had this for a while. This was actually gifted to me by a subscriber. One of my lovely subscribers who's also a patron gave me a very generous Victoria Beckham Beauty gift card, and I wanted to try one of the eye wardrobes. When I was gifted the gift card, it was during the sale that Victoria Beckham does. It was bought during that time, and Victoria Beckham is a very expensive brand, and those of us who pay attention to the brand know that they only do their sale like once a year, and you can get it like a couple different weekends in November. So a lot of times stuff is sold out if you're not like right on it, and this is not a complaint, but the gift card got to me on the last day of the sale, and so this was the one that was the most interesting to me at the time. But they have since come out with a colorway that I think I would like a lot more than this. Not that I don't like this colorway, but it's the shade Orchid, and I also really want to try the colorway Victoria, which I might in the future, who knows. But let's focus on this. This is really going to be good for those of you who like a smoky eye. My thoughts on it so far, because I have used this off camera, is that I do quite like it. I don't know that it's like a necessary palette, especially this colorway. I had one of the original ones before they updated the packaging. A big problem with that original packaging was that it would pop open. There's this little button that push on the side here, and that is what like triggers it open, and they would pop open all the time. I've heard other people say that that resolved the issue. Mine pops open in the drawer often. I don't know if it's just like a defect with mine, but that is annoying. I will say that also feels a little more substantial in the hands than the old version. The old version was also much thinner than this one is. Like it was much more credit card size. I don't know if that means that there was less product. This is a refillable thing, so they don't even put the shade that you buy on the back, because I think the idea is that you kind of just buy the refills that you want. But if you bought more than one of them, you would not be able to tell with the back. So if I were to buy more colorways, I would only buy the refills, and I would just make this my Victoria Beckham eyeshadow compact, and I would probably just store my other ones in a just like a big magnetic palette until I was ready to use them. Or I think they come in like plastic things. Right now I'm very big on needing to see things from the top for me to use them. Object permanence. So we're just gonna do a gorgy little smoky eye. I would start with eyeliner, but I'm gonna just see what that eyeshadow can do by itself. We're just gonna build a very basic smoky eye. I'm gonna start with this matte black right here. I'm using a pencil brush. This one is from Refer. It's the 03 brush. I don't love a lot of Refer brushes, but this one is one of the ones I do like. And I'm just gonna smoke it along the lash line. So that was just 2 dips into the black eyeshadow. I think it's really pigmented and really blendable. There is something pouchy happening here. I don't think I blended out the eyeshadow base completely well. We'll fix that with like some shimmery things. I don't think it'll be as distracting, but I don't think that's like due to the eyeshadow being patchy. I'm gonna go in with a 3rd layer of this just to get it even more opaque. And if I had used an eyeliner, we wouldn't need to go this hard on the black, but I just want it to be smoky, smoky, smoky. And this is the Shodo 03 from Refer. These Shodo brushes are different from other Refer brushes. They have, I don't know, the density is different, and I have been using these, and I do actually like them. If you watched my old Refer review, you'll know that I gave them quite the hard time. I've since met the owner. I had to own up to my thoughts about it, but I felt what I felt. I wasn't lying. But I do like this one. I still don't reach for Refer first, but I do think that this Shodo line does like a much better job blending for me in the eyeshadows that I like to use and the formulas I like to use. Even after being on my eye for a little bit, switching to the fluffy brush really blended it quite well. I'm going to take the same fluffy brush. I'm going to go into the cream shade, the matte cream shade. There's like this taupey cream color here. That's not what I'm going into. I'm just going into the regular cream. And I don't know why I'm doing one eye at a time, but we're going to roll with it. So I'm just going to go along the edges with that. just to make the blend even better. I was really mocked by a few people. If you didn't know, if you haven't seen it, Farah Hamidi released, going back into some more black to just make it even darker and then also blend in a little bit more to the cream. Farah Hamidi released this like smudgy, it's supposed to be smudgy eyeshadow. And I sometimes can be into that, and I think I would be. Like, I bet if I tried that, I don't know, I'm thinking about trying it, but the fact that I even said I wanted it on Instagram caused quite the stir. People were like, why would you buy that? I don't know, I think it's interesting. It's not that I think that just, like, smudgy eyeshadow is cool. It has to, like, sit a certain way. It has to, like, look and feel a certain way on the eye and crease a certain way. So, for example, with the Mob cream eyeshadows that I tried, they did crease on me, but then they also would kind of like disappear. So it's like throughout the day, like they would just get lighter and lighter. So if it was smudgy and it creased, but it stayed dark, like that's the thing that I'm interested in. I want to know if it does that. And it only comes in boring shades, which I'm also very interested in that. But it's like I need another like black smoky eyeshadow palette. Like I need a freaking hole in my head. It is what I'm interested in. Okay, you know what's actually so perfect? I'm going to show you a new mascara today, so I'm actually going to leave this one untouched so we can see what the mascara actually does. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this same brush and I'm going to go into the biggest shade here. Now, to me, I think that this matte cream shade should be the biggest shade. The one I tried before was like a reddy eyeshadow colorway. The biggest shade in there also had like a sheen to it, so hopefully you can see, and you saw in the swatches, there's like a little bit of a sheen to it. A lot of kick up in the pan too. Did you see that? Kicking up in the pan. I don't really care about that. I like soft eyeshadows. I just think that the biggest shade should be the most useful shade, and I'm not quite sure that this like silver is. And I'm actually just going to go into the crease with it. It's not like supposed to be the star of the show. It's just gonna blend the black into the cream even more and soften the blend. Satin eyeshadows are really good for that. They can really perfect any blend. I've lost a little bit of black, but we're gonna go in with the other black here in a second. I'm just gonna go more along the lash line with the matte black. Now I'm gonna go into the sparkly black, and I'm gonna put it directly along the lash line, and so I got a lot of fallout from the black shade, not from the sparkly black, but just the regular black. Actually, I feel like that tends to happen with black eyeshadows. I also was really like packing it on. I'm gonna go back into the shimmery silver color and just go very gently along the edge of the blend here. I'm gonna take some micellar water. I'm going to like just clean up my cheek a little bit. If I was just going in with a soft blend and I wasn't going in quite heavy-handed with that pencil brush, I'm not sure how much fallout I would get from the black, but that's just something to note, especially when you're doing a smoky eye. I think starting with the eyes is always a safe bet, especially if you're going to get in to some other textures on your eye as well. This colorway is specifically going to be for people who wear this all the time. You may recall that a few years ago, Natasha Denona released the Xenon palette. There was a mini version and there was a full-size version. And a lot of people in my audience were like, I really want that. And so very few people wear smoky eyes that have this intensity of black on them. I like it. I think it's really like, I think it's so fun to wear like a really smoked out eyeshadow look. I love it. I think it's great. For this colorway, you're going to have to want this eye almost every time. I mean, you could do, I think that this taupe all over the lid would be like just incredibly stunning. This is designed for that. And I think if you like this kind of eye look, this is the kind of thing that is perfect for it. You don't need an eyeshadow palette to do the smoky eye that has 10 different blacks and grays and silvers in it. You really only need something like this. $75 for an eyeshadow palette that only has 4 shades in it is quite steep. It is quite luxurious to interact with. I think that the formulas work really well. They blended really well. I do think that this is going to be better and more interesting to people who have more mature eyelids because the blend just kind of does its own thing. It's not super complicated, but it is going to give you a very similar eye look every single time. Now, if you are in the market for something that is super luxurious and only gives you a specific eye look because that's like the eye look that you wear every day, then perhaps one of these Victoria Beckham colorways could be worth it to you. I don't really complicate a lot of my eye looks. Like every now and then I sit down and I'm like, okay, we're doing it. But most of the time, like this is like a desired outcome for me. I would be interested to try other colorways in this line because I like the formula. It reminds me a lot of like Viseart mattes, you know, Hindash mattes. Like the matte eyeshadows in here are very much akin to like some of my favorite formulas. I just don't think many of the people who watch my channel, like if you're really into the eyeshadow game, then I don't know that this is for you. I'm not sure how much it would do as something that like you take on like transit or in the back of an Uber doing your makeup. It was a little too messy for that, I fear. And there's also no applicators in this, which I do appreciate. A lot of luxury houses will put, you know, little applicators in it, and I do appreciate that they didn't even bother. I have the Nightflash eyeliner. If you like a more sparkly eye look, I would get the eyeliner instead and use mattes and creams that you have to do the base of the black smoky eye and then use this on top, because I think this is a lot sparklier than the black eyeshadow in there. If I was not trying to just show you this eyeshadow palette, I would have incorporated this into the look as well to give it a little more punch. But I do like it. This is like the Dream Smoky Eye. The mascara I have today is this from Surratt. Surratt came out of the woodwork and asked to re-up me on some stuff, and then I also was like, and if you're feeling very generous, you can throw in any, all, some of these other things. And one thing I requested was the Noir Lash Tint. So this is the mascara that has the really funky wand. So it kind of looks like a screw, like it's like a screw that gets all of the mascara goop in it, and that's how you apply it. Something that I have wanted to answer for a while, ever since I saw this product, is why will my lashes not clump together? Now, I've used it a couple of times and I already have some thoughts on it, but I'm gonna apply it for you. I'm gonna zoom you in even closer so you can see this go on. I'm gonna apply this to my left eye. Just keep in mind, my left eye, when I apply mascara, always looks worse than my right eye. It does like kind of clump my lashes together, but like not as much as I thought that it would. The second thing that I think about it is that it lengthens and thickens my lashes more than I was expecting it to. I don't really understand like the point. Like this mascara is quite expensive. It does have a 12-month shelf life, but it is $54. I know that some people swear by it. I'm going to quickly grab just a different, what is this called? Mascara wand? Not mascara wand. What is a spoolie? I have worn it all day 2 times and it held up beautiful. I don't know if it's a tubing mascara. It doesn't come off in tubes, but it did hold up all day in some rain and some wind. So like it worked really well. Like actually I have no complaints about it. I just don't know that I would spend this much for it. I also really like their Releve mascara, which is $20 cheaper than this one. And I would sooner buy that again. Well, because that's my favorite mascara. I don't know that this like is competing with that. I don't know what's so special about this formula. It does more for my eyelashes than I thought. So I was thinking that it was going to be more akin to like Glossier Lash Slick, which literally just kind of like coats your lashes that you already have, would make them a little bit darker, and that's kind of all that the Lash Slick does. It does a little more than that. I can't say that I think that this result is worth $54. I'm not really sure what the appeal is. I know that Michelle Wong really likes it. I know it's like kind of their cult thing, their cult classic, if you will, but to me it's just like not really doing it. I'm gonna apply it to the side that has the eyeshadow on just to like show you what it looks like on top of that before I zoom out and finish my eyeshadow. I should have done my left eye with the eyeshadow and my right eye for the mascara because I think I'll apply it better. I just am so shit at applying mascara to my left eye. I do kind of like that it doesn't have a traditional spoolie. With a big spoolie brush and a mascara, I'm really good for getting it all over my eyelids. Like it's just something that I do every time. I'm gonna build the eye look on the other side. AORA. 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 Okay, AORA. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I just tried to Google translate it for myself. They sent me some products. You may know them the best for their no plastic packaging situation. They're a Mexican brand, and they have, I'll show you the palette just real quick. I'm not using it in today's look. I mean, obviously I already have my eyeshadow done. This is what their palette looks like. So you may have seen this on social media. I get ads for this brand a lot, but they reached out and offered to send PR. Really cool that a Mexican brand is doing this. It's also really cool to see a brand commit to plastic free packaging. All of their products, I think, are like made of recyclable materials, which is really cool. There's a lot that goes into sustainability that should be considered. And I'm not saying that this is like greenwashing or anything like that. I don't know enough about sustainability. But one thing that I do know is important when you think about sustainability too is like how heavy things are when they ship. And I think that often gets like lost in the conversation. I think a lot of people are mostly worried about post-consumer effects on the environment. I don't want to get too much into that because I don't know a ton about it. I got to pick out a couple of things from them, and I picked out 2 of their eyeliners. As you may or may not know, I've been really into like blue eyeshadow and blue stuff, and I've been on the hunt for a blue eyeliner. Now, I do want to just buy the Victoria Beckham one because it's my favorite formula. I'm about to show you why I like the Victoria Beckham formula for me on my eyes. I mostly wear eyeliner in my waterline, and sometimes I will wear eyeliner on my lid and smudge it out and kind of just wear it as eyeshadow. If I'm wearing eyeliner on my actual lid, it's usually the only thing I'm putting on my lid, unless I need something to define my eye a little bit more. A lot of times it's the eyeliner. The pencil is called the Acaricame. Wait, hold on. We're not speaking French, so no. Acaricame. Admirame. I'm sorry. And it's Azul 02. Maybe there was another blue shade. The naming mechanism on a lot of the AORA, sorry, I got too confident. The naming mechanism on a lot of the AORA products is confusing to me, and I don't quite understand it. And some of them have the same name, but there's like 1 and then 2. I'm going to try to put this in my waterline. Historically, so far, me trying this product, it does not really want to go into my waterline. What I value in an eyeliner is that it goes into my waterline and I only have to do 1 swipe. I might do more swipes for like something more intense, but I don't want to have to go back and forth. I don't want it to pool. And even if I use this on my lids, it pools, but I'm going to show you how little it does in the waterline. It just doesn't really want to build up. Do you see how like, this is really hard to show. Do you see how like it just doesn't really show up? Like you can see that it's like sort of blue, but it's like also not really super blue. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I want it to be color rich. Let me swatch it on the back of my hand. Like, do you see how it's just like, there's just nothing, there's not a lot of pow in it. Now you built it up, you have something a little bit more blue. I just like wanted something with a little more umph in it. Like I want it to look like that on my eye. It doesn't. It should. That's what I think when it comes to eyeliner. Yeah, it's just like not my favorite eyeliner formula. I don't like it on the skin either. Like if you see like just, that's 1 swipe, like with gentle pressure. And then you need to apply more pressure and kind of go back and forth to get it to something more. And then it ends up being kind of patchy. I've never blended it on my eye. It's blending okay. But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't pick these eyeliners. They wouldn't be my first choice. I also have another blue eyeliner that was sent from Urban Decay. And I was thinking that if I get a blue one in PR, that satisfies the itch. I won't have to buy the Victoria Beckham one. But I don't like the one, I don't like the one from Urban Decay either. I need to clean up my under eyes a little bit more. There's a lot of shimmer fallout. And now I'm realizing that I didn't put shimmer primer down for the black, which just means this will probably just happen the whole time I'm wearing this eyeshadow, which is fine. I don't care. It's fine. I just take some tape and kind of clean things up. I do like the blue eyeliner with the smoky eye, though. I think it's really pretty. I haven't tried the brown one yet. They also sent me Cafe 01. I personally wouldn't recommend these. If you like the kind of eyeliners that I like the Victoria Beckham, well, if you love the Victoria Beckham one, these are kind of like the polar opposite of the Victoria Beckham ones. If you don't typically like the eyeliners that I like and you don't look for the same things, then maybe these could be for you. But I feel sad because I want to love the stuff that this brand sent me because I think what they're doing is very cool and I want to be into it, but these were unfortunately just not it for me. I'm going to prime my face with a Victoria Beckham primer. I'm just trying to use this up. This is the old formulation. This is the old formulation of the Victoria Beckham primer, and we are really close to the end. I was going through the stuff that we talked about in that video where I was like talking about stuff that you guys had recommended for me to review. I think what I've landed on from that video, because now I've like watched it back and I was just trying to figure out like what would be the thing that I would buy that would make the most sense for me to buy to review. And it seemed that most people were interested in Maxine's Revenge, which I'm going to buy. There were some people interested in some other things, but in the February one, very many people asked me to try the foundation from MPH, which I think we'll just do a little bit of a complexion duo for that review budget. And I might buy the Faro Humidity to review as well. So I think that might just be like the January budget. The Faro Humidity being my, because it didn't exist whenever we did that video. So that will be like my little thing that I'm adding that I'm interested in that maybe you guys aren't. Anyway, I think it'll be an interesting collection of things for us to get into. Let's follow up on the Make Concealer. I love the Make Concealer. It is just so unfussy. It's just so unfussy. It's gorgeous. They now have 30 shades of it. I wear shade 01 Fair N. I actually think one of the new shades would have worked better for me, but this one works perfectly fine and I'm more than happy to use it. Here's why I love it. And I've mentioned this before, not super high coverage, flexes with the face. It's, you know, it's really unfussy. The thing that I think is most impressive is I do reach for it a lot. Part of my reviewing process when I'm playing with makeup is not only is the product good, but it is a product that I am choosing to reach for when I am playing with makeup. Outside of the confines of I need to test this to know about it to be able to communicate to my audience how I feel about it. This has really organically worked its way into my life. Like I am oft choosing it for my concealer. Some days even over my Victoria Beckham. I don't think I like it more than the Victoria Beckham. The Victoria Beckham offers a little more coverage, a little more brightness. That might be a little more of like a color thing as well. But I do really like this. However, it does have limitations. It like sometimes won't cover my redness enough, which is like a little bit annoying. I don't really care about that. Like, but if I'm doing a full glam look, I would not choose this concealer. I find that the Victoria Beckham concealer, while still being like a lighter coverage concealer, will work with a full glam look. This one leaves something to be desired if I am trying to do really perfected skin. In today's look, we're just like doing mostly clean skin and we're going to be doing a lot of cheek to match the eye and we're going to be doing a lot of lip. It's going to be a lot of a look. It's going to be a real lot of a look. But I think they really nailed this product. It's such a shame about their skin tint though. I can apply basically as much as I want and it will not feel like I've applied too much. Some concealers will look really beautiful, but then if you apply too much of them, then they get stuck in that fold under my eye. It's okay that makeup gets stuck there. It just depends on how it gets stuck there. This does this in a very, really elegant way. Like it doesn't really like live in that crease under my eye, which I really love. That's something I value most in a concealer. A lot of concealers, like the Ritual Defee concealer, I can only put like a dot under my eye and blend it out. It's a much more high coverage concealer than this, but also it's thicker. And I think that thickness is where I really get into trouble when it comes to concealing under the eye. I do want to also say the concealer brush I've been using is a brush that I got from Singe when I was at Creator and Friends. It's the Singe F02. Now, historically, I really liked the BK Beauty. What is she called? The BK Beauty Hot and Flashy A506. So they're like similar ideas, but this one from Singe is more shaped. Oh, no, that's not the Singe one. This one from Singe is more shaped like the one that Rare Beauty and Pat McGrath have, which I didn't really love the Pat McGrath brush. This one's a little bit bigger, I think, size-wise, definitely length-wise, but I think that also the brush itself is bigger than the one that Pat McGrath sells or sold. I don't know if she still sells it. I know there's a lot going on with that brand. I don't know what remains anymore, but I've been really loving this for blending out concealer because the whole idea of brushes that are this shape is that it's supposed to mimic the size and density of blending out with like your ring fingers. So like, do you see how like, well, I'll just use my index finger. Do you see how they're kind of like shaped similarly? Not exactly the same, but that was like my understanding of this shape of brush is like, if you like were to blend out with your finger, like it would be very similar application style. I don't find that this concealer gets really creasy under my eye. More or less self-sets. I would still powder it, but I powder even concealers that will self-set, like the Westman Atelier. But you can also see like I didn't get all of this redness covered, which is okay. That's fine. I am going to apply a little bit more on that area. Sometimes I have found when I try to build this up, it like doesn't give any more than it already has given. Like it's not something that I feel like you could really build up to full coverage. And I think if you did, you would end up with just a lot more product on your face than would be necessary. Like it covered a little bit more, but you can still see the redness shining through. Okay, and then for foundation today, I'm actually gonna use the Victoria Beckham foundation drops. I've used this in videos and I wear it a lot off camera. And this is in my permanent collection, technically. I do really like this foundation. It reminds me a lot of the Surratt Dewdrop foundation, which they re-upped me on the Surratt Dewdrop foundation, which I was like, God bless, thank you so much. They remind me a lot of one another. The Surratt one is cheaper technically to buy, but I think per ounce it is more expensive than this one, so it's kind of like a moot point. But if either one of those are in your budget, I like them both, and I could recommend them interchangeably. They're very similar what they do. This one's just a little glowier than the Surratt Dewdrop foundation. So that's all stuff to keep in mind. Another cinch brush that I got in PR that I have been liking for this foundation specifically is the FO3. It's a very simple brush. I think that they might sell this as like a blush brush, which it would work, but I like it for foundation. And so I'm gonna do 3 drops on my mixing palette and load up the brush. And I have the shade L3, Fairlight 3, FL3. And it's just a little bit warm for my skin tone. I was color matched in this foundation. I would have picked a different color. In the lighting where we did the color match, it did match. It's not so off that I can't get away with wearing it either, but it's just a little bit yellow. I think it matches, like the bottom of my neck is a little bit yellow, but not the rest of my body. So it kind of blends into that quite well. And I don't think it's so disparate from like my hand, you know, like, but you can see it's just a little bit warmer than my actual skin tone. And obviously, like, different parts of your body have different depths of skin and different undertones sometimes. So, but on my face, I typically would consider myself neutral, leaning a bit cool. I would definitely buy this again. Like, I really like it. I don't tear through foundation too quickly. My only concern is how long it will be good for. They started putting that stuff on the box instead of the product, which is so annoying. Just because Victoria Beckham touts itself as a clean beauty brand, my only concern about this product is, will it go off before I finish it? So it is also a foundation I find myself choosing a lot, just so that I feel like I get my value out of it. I will say another holdup I have about this product is the fact that it comes in a squeezy tube. Victoria Beckham's packaging is usually so luxe healing. We saw it with the eyeshadow. This is just like a little plastic squeezy tube. And then the nozzle ends up looking like that, which is not my favorite. You can always, you know, take product off of that as well to apply to your face. I think our formulation should have gone in a packaging like this. I think we should have formulated a foundation that could be both whatever Victoria Beckham considers to be clean while also being in a gorgeous pump. Okay, so here's what the skin's looking like. It's looking rather shiny and heavy today, but I think that might be due to the incredible contrast of my smoky eye look that I have going on, but we're going to keep applying makeup and I think we're going to end up with a great result. Let's do another product update, and this is from KJH brand. This is the Precision Contour. Oh my god. This is the Precision Sculpture Stylo in the shade Chisel. So here's the thing. I don't recommend this product, but I have been loving it. I have been choosing it as my contour product, which I would say says a lot considering how devoted I have been to the Ritual Defeat, Intuition, and Omen. But I can't deny how fun it is to kind of like, wow, I really went high with that little button nose. We'll go a little bit lower. It's fine. But I have been contouring my whole face with it, and I really like it. This is actually my plea, KJH brand, if you see this. I want this in a chubby stick, and I want them to come in a duo. I don't want them to only come in a duo, because some people will only want this, some people will only want the chubby version of the stick, but I would buy that. It's nice and creamy, it immediately applies to my skin, it doesn't lift anything, and this color is really nice. It's not too warm, which is a problem I often run into, and I think it would be a problem if I got the next lighter shade. So this is not technically their lightest shade. This is their second lightest shade. And I just think it gives me really good, mostly undetectable contouring results. And I like it for that. I really just have been enjoying contouring my face with this. It's unusual, like for me to really like feel that way about something that is kind of impractical. Now, I of course really loved the one from Victoria Beckham, but the color wasn't right. I think this color is more correct. It's still not as cool as I would like. I would still like a one that's kind of mostly just gray, but it blends really well out as well. Like it's not a lot of work to blend. And you also saw that I have sculpted my whole face first, and now I'm going to blend it out, which means it stays blendable and you have a lot of time. to blend it out, but it does stay on my face. And a lot of times when I use this, not that I think it looks like a bronzer on me, I just have been skipping bronzer. That is probably mostly due to the cold harshness of the winter. And I want to talk about this brush that I'm using as well in a second, but just looking at blend out, just it looks so good. Unfortunately, I do really like this. Now, the problem that I'm running into is like, I am tearing through it. There's so little product. And if I was choosing this as my like one and only contour product now and forever, it's like really going to add up. Let's see how much product I have left. Like there's already not a ton of product in there. And I just am now curious, like if I were to use it all the way up, that's the end. That's all that I have left. And so I'm going to finish it very quickly. And I do like it. Like the problem is I just really do like it. I wrote this down as like a video concept, but I couldn't think of enough products in my collection. But I didn't really sit down and like actually look through my collection to decide whether or not this would be a good video idea. But this is one of those products that I love but don't recommend. I have a couple of them. There's a couple products that I think are like too expensive that I really enjoy that I wouldn't recommend. Or things in my makeup collection that I like use utilitarianly that like I don't actually recommend for you to buy. And I think another good example of this would be like the Sisley Blur powder that I use like only to do my nose with. That's a product, I don't know. Is that a video? Would you want that? But I think it's also like one of those things where it's like, here's a really beautiful product that is like flawed in many ways. Like there's just not enough product in it for it to be worth it. But I do like this formula. I do like the color of it. It's just too little product for me personally. And price per ounce or gram or whatever I did, this was more expensive than the Victoria Beckham one. I'm not even saying that you should run out and buy the Victoria Beckham one because that was another product that I really liked. I was like, I don't think most of you would get a value out of it. This is running into that. But unfortunately, this is my favorite KJH product that I think I do like this even more than the highlighter. This is my favorite KJH product that I've tried, and unfortunately, it's just so impractical. But I do love it. I gave it a lot of shit when I first tried it, but I do really love it. Unfortunately. If you're only using it to contour your nose, I'm sure it would last you a lot longer. But I really like it all over my face. Like, look at how good it looks. Look at how it blends into my skin. Look how it's kind of unclockable but still doing work. Even in my beard area, even like on my jawline, it's so good. If they ever release this in a chubby stick, which I think, come on, okay? I want KVH, listen, I want the contour to come in this, okay? I want a contour that's this size. You know what? I might clip this and tag the brand because I do want that. I want your contour stick. You can still have this as an option, babe. I want this much product though. I want this also as an option. I don't think that's too much to ask. But before we move on to the next product, I do want to shout this out. This is the Make Beauty Blender brush. Whenever they sent me the concealer, the second time they sent me my concealer, they also sent this brush. This brush is awesome. I love it. I love it for blending the contour specifically, but I just like pick it up a lot. Like I could use it for any cream product. It would work really beautifully for that. But I really like it for the cream contour. It is so heavy. It is so heavy. It's like, must be metal. Like this handle is like metal. It's so heavy. It feels so luxurious. It blends product beautifully. I'd be very interested in trying more brushes specifically from Make Beauty because this is awesome. I love it. I love it. It's so good. I'm going to use the Hannah Louise Poston corduroy shade. This is the medium brown shade from her collection with Salt New York. I got this in PR. I'll just actually use my fingers. So I'm going to just use this. I think a couple videos ago I used the lightest shade as a bronzer and it looked really pretty, but I don't know that. Maybe it might have been this one. I'm actually not 100% sure. I'm just going to blend it out with my finger. And the reason I'm choosing this is because I think any of my other regular bronzers I have would be a little too much. I don't want too much warmth contrasting with the black eyeshadow. Now, you could do a really bronzy look with black eyeshadow. Black is technically a neutral shade, right? I learned that from Stacy and Clinton. I think I might just do that much. I don't even know if I'm going to go... Well, let me do a little on my neck. I think this is a really pretty bronzer color. Here's the thing about the Hannah Louise Poston collab with Salt New York. It's like not my favorite thing. I really want to love it. This is one of those moments where like someone made a product for their specific use case for how they like to do their makeup. And as similar as some of the things that me and Hannah both like when it comes to saturation and color, the amount of presence makeup has on our face is a different preference. So these are really sheer. And if you like if you need just like a kiss of product there, and there's some people who just want that, this will be perfect for the people who have been on the hunt for that forever. For me, I need to use the medium or deep blushes to get the amount of pigment on my face, but I don't love the finish of these either. Like they kind of can stay a little bit wet. You can like I'll powder the bronzer that I just put on and it will be fine. You can powder them. And I don't even really always like love a matte looking blush, but it's just like the amount of product I need to put on to get the amount of pigment and color that I like, they just always are at odds with one another. That is kind of my big holdup with this. My favorite thing from the collection is by far the highlighters. I like the colors a lot, but I'm gonna still choose my Phytosurgeons blushes over these ones from Salt New York. At least the ones in Hannah's collection. There are 2 blushes I have from Salt New York that I really love, but they were limited edition and are already discontinued. You can still buy them on the website, but they're not permanent products. So anyway, let's use another Hannah blush. These are 2 of the deepest shades from Hannah's collab. This is begins with a C, and then that's the Old Gum. We're gonna use the deep purple version. I can't even get the name of it. Cantor. And I'm just gonna put it kind of low on the cheek. Stunning. Okay, and then for highlighter, I don't know that. I think I only have one new highlighter and I don't want to wear it with this look. Not because I don't like it, I just like, I don't think it would go with this look. I think I'm gonna go in with Morganite from, is that what's called? Morganite? Is that the shit I have? Yeah, Morganite from Orchid in their Glow Lust formula. Did you see that they finally released refills? I feel 2 ways about it. It felt like a really long time for the refills to come out. And then the second thing I feel is that at least they did it, because there's a lot of brands who like make refillable packaging and then never release the refills. So I will say that. But one thing I will say about Farah Hamidi, those eyeshadow refills already exist and she released them at the same time. So I will say Farah Hamidi really always seems to get that right. This isn't a new product, so you'll see me with highlighter on next time you see me. I have a lot about brushes today. The Singe F06 brush. I've been liking this for cream highlighter. I don't know that like it's really like meant for that, and it would work well with a powder highlighter, but for just like dabbing on some cream highlighter, I love it for that. I love it for that. Okay, I'm gonna powder my face. I'm gonna have to remember to put all these brushes in the description box. This was PR. Every Singe, I've not bought a Singe product, so any Singe product you see is PR. I'm gonna powder my face real quick with my 2 powders. The one from Wet n Wild, the pink one for my under eyes, and then also the old formulation of the Givenchy on the rest of my face. I have a couple different options for lip products, and I am just going to go with the one. There's one shade from AORA that I do like, and it's their Acaricame. It's their lip product in the shade Vanta 02. It's like their lip balm, and it's a little bit gray. And I just really like it. Can you see it? It's like you can't even tell it's gray. Can you see how it's like a little bit gray? I do really like this. Actually, I'll put this on before I put on the lip stain, and then I'll take it off. But I really like this. There is a bit of a plumping agent in it. It's kind of got a minty kind of like taste and vibe, but I never feel like my lips hurt when it's doing the plumping. And I always feel like once the plumping agent has fully kicked in, it does a really good job, not like attracting anything to fine lines and dryness. I wish the gray pigment was like maybe a little more apparent on my lips, but I have pretty pigmented lips. But you can definitely see that it cooled off my lip color, which I think is really pretty. And I really like this one. And that's, again, the shade Vanta 02. And I don't really know how to say this product name. Acaricame.
Acariciame.
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 Acariciame. Acariciame lip balm. I like this one in the Acariciame lip balms. And sorry, I'm not... If it sounds like I'm exasperated and saying in Spanish, I'm not. I'm really taking big swings. Acariciame. Did I say it right that time? No. Anyway, there's another one in this line. I'm going to remove this and then I'll apply the other one. And I don't like this shade as much. This is in the shade Vino 01. And this is kind of like a blue, brown, red duochrome. And my problem with this one in particular is that these are like sold as lip balms. And when my lips were in bad shape and I was putting on a lip balm, it looked really unflattering. Right now, my lips are really hydrated. I had that lip oil on the whole time I've been filming. I also exfoliated my lips before I started applying lip products. So there shouldn't be really any dry skin for it to cling on to. Now, if there is dry skin for it to cling onto, it will cling onto it and it will look really uneven on your lips and I don't like it. But it's a really pretty lip color. I think this is pretty. It's not good really for today's look, but this is only cute if your lips are in perfect shape, which I think for a lip balm, it shouldn't be like that. Anyway, this color is really cool. And if you've been looking for like a lip product that has this kind of finish to it, it's really interesting, really neat. Just, I don't know, it's like not perfect, but the other one I like a lot more and I would wear all the time. Let's actually talk about this. So this was something that someone requested I review in that anti-hauling video, the subscriber, whatever. This is from Lethal. This was PR. This is their lip stain, Infinity lip stain in the shade Wolfsbane. They sent me the whole line. I'm grateful for. Tiff really likes a lip stain, so I gave them most of the shades. Tiff is my roommate if you're new here. I did keep one for me to try. This one's supposed to be more purpley. The thing I will say about this range is that it's all very red, very ruddy, very red, which is like not really my gig. I have been more into a red lip, but lip stains are also not my favorite thing. So I'm going to apply this for you real quick and I will tell you all the things I love about it and the things I don't like about it. Well, the thing I don't like about it is that it's a lip stain. As someone who does not really typically like a lip stain for all over the lips, this is like definitely the easiest lip stain I've ever used. All of the rules that come with a lip stain still apply. If you have a lot of dry patches on your lips, if your lips are not prepped for the lip stain, it's going to cling to the dry patches. It's not going to apply very evenly. With other lip stains I have tried, it usually doesn't even matter how good I can get my lips to be in prep. When I apply them, they always apply patchy. They always apply uneven. There's something about this formula that allows me to apply it very evenly and gives me time to apply it, because I think what happens with other lip stains is that the formula ends up feeling really dry very quickly and then it doesn't really want to spread and then it kind of gets caught and then you kind of have like lines that are not from dry skin. It's just like uneven application. This formula stays wet enough for me to be able to manipulate it and move it across my lips to get an even application. But the stuff that dries first doesn't dry like a different color than the stuff that I apply on the rest of my lips. So I really like that about it. It's definitely the best lip stain formula I've ever used. It's really good. I really like it. And the other thing is, like, the one from Trixie Cosmetics was like a lip gloss that then stains your lips. I hated that because I could never get it to look even on my lips. I did not like it. And I really want that like juiciness to be on my lips, right? You know, like I wanted that to be the part that's on my lips. So then it was like really hard to find it even. And then I also felt like it stained unevenly. I just feel like this is like the easiest version of a lip stain I have ever used. If I was going to recommend a lip stain, the Infinity lip stains from Lethal would be the ones I would recommend. Take that with a grain though. I don't like lip stains and I'm not buying all the lip stains to review, and I don't think I have tried a very many lip stain to like confidently be like, this is one. This of the ones I've tried, this is my favorite one and I quite like it. It still feels dry on the lips. You know, like it's like, again, all the things that happen with lip stains, this is just like the very best version of a lip stain that I personally have ever tried. And I do like that it's matte and that it sets. I did not like the one from Trixie. That lip gloss to stain formula is like, I think a K-beauty thing that has recently come to American brands selling them. I think Rare Beauty has one of those. A couple of brands, you know, Trixie Cosmetics has one of those. I'm not really into that. I'd rather it be like this. So what I'm going to do, because I think that this is a little too magenta, I think it goes with the eye look, but it's like not really giving the fantasy that I want. I'm going to put a different lip product on top of it, like just a gloss. I'm going to put Dark Star from Mob Beauty. I bought this a while ago, but I'm going to put that on top. Also to help my dry lips. Yeah, it was a bit much. It's feeling all a bit much. Okay, to finish off the look, I have one more thing I'm gonna tell you about, and we'll wrap up this video. I've been filming for so long. I haven't like filmed an application video in a while, and I think I I'm just taking my time, luxuriating in the experience actually. So the final thing I want to use is from Urban Decay. They sent this to me in PR. It's the new all-nighter. They have previously sent me the matte all-nighter, and then they sent me this one, and I did sometimes Urban Decay will send PR and I like immediately donate it or get rid of it or give it to other people because like I don't think my audience is like truly interested in a lot of what they're doing. But I was curious about this because I did like the original all-nighter. I was never like a ride or die for all-nighter like some people might be, and my favorite setting sprays up until now really have not been like long hold setting sprays, but I've used all-nighter, and I do think the old version worked, the one from Scandinavia that is still being sold by Scandinavia. It's not called the all-nighter, but a quick Google search will get you there. I was curious about this. I was like, will this be good? Will I like it? The answer is no. I've used it a couple of times, and I think it always has made my makeup look a little bit worse, and I also think that it makes, like, I don't know, there's something about it, like, it doesn't do for my skin like what the old formulation did. I really like that one from Trixie Cosmetics. I've also been really liking the one from Lethal that they recently sent me that was in the SpongeBob collection. This just like, I don't know, there's something, it's like not so much at the beginning, but it's like after some wear throughout the day. There's something about this that makes my skin like look older, which of course not like a fan of it, and kind of just like everything kind of looks bad by the end of the day. So I wouldn't recommend this, but just displaying it on camera and just letting you know that because I'm gonna declutter it after this video. Like I have no interest in really using this beyond this. I would go get the one from Scandinavia. Like if you were interested in, just keep buying the one from Scandinavia. That's all I have to say. The nozzle is pretty good though. Let's do a quick rewind through everything that I tried today. Talk about how I feel about it at the end of this look. I still really like the eye wardrobe from Victoria Beckham in the shade Nightflash. I think that my eye is really effective. It's also starting to look a little bit lived in. It's like kind of, it's kind of doing what I feel like the advertising of the eyeshadows from Farah Hamidi. It just feels like really lived in. It's gonna look cool. Like I bet it will probably crease. I haven't worn them for incredibly long periods of time, this particular formula, so I don't know about the creasing of it on my oily eyelids, but I can just tell, you can just tell it's like the way it's living on my face is stunning, and I like it a lot. $75 for this. It's only going to be of value to the kind of people who would utilize something like this on the everyday. And if that's not you, then I don't recommend it to you. But if that is you, that's a really lovely version of that thing. Very kind to the eyes. Loved it. Okay, the mascara. So weird, but I do like it, but I wouldn't pay $54 for it. But it was nice to finally like scratch the itch. But here's what I would say to any of you who have seen people use this, but you've never bought it because it's $54. I don't think it's worth $54. I don't think there's any world in which I would pay this. I don't think this has any ingredients in it. Like the one from Chantecaille is really expensive because it's like a lash growth serum. This is not that, I don't think. So I wouldn't pay that much money for that. My cap for mascara is like in the mid 30s. That's how I feel like about mascara. That's what I would say for mascara. It's like mid $30 would be the most I would pay for a mascara that I would buy again, like rebuy. Okay, next I have the AORA eyeliners. Oof, no. The Make Concealer. If you have historically liked concealers I have liked, I think you would like this. If you like full coverage, I would just avoid it. You need more coverage than that would be able to provide. That's probably not for you. The Victoria Beckham foundation drops. Gorgeous, stunning. Like them a lot. I feel like I covered the HLP X Salt New York blushes pretty well in the moment, so I'm not going to harp on them, but I would only spend my money on the highlighter. If that answers your question about this, I prefer Phytosurgeon's colors and texture and finish to the ones from Salt New York. The contour stylus from KJH brand, I do like it. I do not recommend it. But I do think it's good. If you're only contouring your nose, or if you're doing all of like if you want to do all the stuff that KJH does with it, with like she uses a lip liner and his eyeliner and all that, maybe that would be more value to you. I like it. I just wouldn't buy it again. Like I don't recommend it. Like for what I'm using it for, I don't recommend it. But if you are going to use it for less of your face, then it might be worth it. But I'm going to finish that in a couple of weeks. So it's like not going to be worth it to me to buy again. And then the AORA Acaricame lip things. I really recommend Vanta 2. I don't love Vino 01 as much, but it is a pretty color. So I'll give them that. The lip stain from Lethal Cosmetics. Gorgeous, pretty color, pretty lip stain. I'm probably just going to take the time to also declutter this. This is not something I'm going to use a lot. I know that Tiff will take it, or my other best friend will also take it. That's like a product that I know will be loved by someone else who is not me. And it is not me. As you can see, like I already altered it because it's like, it's just not my favorite thing. And then the setting spray from Urban Decay is, oh, not good. All right, we really put it to it in this one. I hope you enjoyed it. This is a long makeup application video, babe. We really did that. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'm on Patreon and I have channel memberships. You can find me over there. That's in my description box. The pinned comment, the first pinned comment down below, will be links to help people in Minnesota, Gaza, Sudan. And I can't, you know, include everything that is going on in the world. I also have 5calls.org down there that will give you scripts to confidently talk to your representatives about the myriad of things that are going on in the United States. Please take the time to make some calls, some emails, and that's going to be it from me. Thank you so much. When this goes up, I might be away. So if I don't get to comment, well, I'm not really great about comments as it is, but I probably won't respond to any comments at all if I'm on vacation. Not vacation, but a trip. I'm going on a trip. So this might go up while I'm on the trip. And then if that is the case, then I won't respond to comments. But if it is before then I might respond to your comments. So we will all see. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to follow your hope if you'll find me. And I'll see you in a video very soon. Go forth. Tits out.